man is so dangerous that he is kept in a glass cell underneath the prison because he's not only a danger to society, but also to other prisoners. I am Sarah, I am your true crime best friend, and today we are exploring the case of Robert Maudsley. Buckle up, guys, this one gets crazy. So Robert was born June 26, 1953. He was one of 12 kids born in Specky, Liverpool, to honestly pretty crappy parents. He spent some time in an orphanage in his young years, but then his parents regained custody, and what he went back into was horrific. Robert explains that he was beaten up to 6 times a day with sticks and rods. He was taken and put into foster care, but his dad told the family that he had died. Of course, now at 16, Robert was dealing with a very traumatic past, and he also developed a drug habit. He believes that he has psychological issues and told doctors that he heard voices, and these voices told him to unalive his parents. Of course, he had a bad upbringing, so all of this just kind of fueled the fire in him. In 1973, Robert was working as an S worker and met a man named John Farrell. Robert states that John showed him pictures of children he abused, and it set Robert into a rage. He used a garrote on him until he was unalived. Robert was caught for this and was declared unfit for trial. He was instead taken to Broadmoor Hospital for the criminally insane. He was there for 3 years, but the help he was getting didn't last. In 1977, Robert and another man in the hospital took a hostage and barricaded themselves into a cell. The man reportedly was there for a SA of a child. They both tortured this man for 9 hours. They eventually garroted the man and cracked his head open like an egg. A spoon was later found sticking out of the man's head. After this, he was convicted of unaliving and sent to prison. He was known at the prison as a cannibal, but that was just rumors. That was not true. But it started out Robert's time in prison very scary and sad. Unfortunately, instead of turning things around, it got worse very fast. He was just getting started, and he had a plan to unalive many in the prison. He convinced a man named Salney Darwin to come back to his cell. When he did, he cut his throat and then placed him under the bed. Then he went into 56-year-old Bill Roberts' cell and attacked him, hacking at him and hitting the man's head into the wall. The first man was convicted for beating his wife, so it seemed like Robert was unaliving in the name of justice. He calmly told officers, "You will be missing 2 at head count." He was sent to solitary, of course, and remained there ever since. He seemed to be a huge danger to literally everyone. He was quoted as saying that if his parents were dead, none of this would have happened. Robert went through many different psychological processes. They really tried to turn him around or break him, pretty much. Whatever came first. He began begging to take his own life. But today, he remains alive at the age of 70. He is such a danger to humanity that he remains locked underground in a glass cell. He has the record of the most consecutive days in solitary confinement. He has been in this special cell since 1983. It itself is an 18-foot by 14-foot, and he is there 23 hours out of the day, every day. This is in the basement of the Wakefield prison, and that is where he remains today. Some people are calling for his release because they believe that it happened so long ago that maybe he should just go back into regular prison, or they should take it easier on him. But what do you think? With all of his psychological issues, with everything that he did, with the danger to the prisoners that he is with, what do you think should happen? The bigger question here is, how do we prevent things like this from happening? How do we get to children and people who are having this big of an issue before it becomes unaliving and then what it is now? Like I said before, I am Sarah. I am your true crime best friend. I make content here and over on YouTube. So if you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit that plus and also go over to YouTube, and I will see you there. I'll see you next time with another true crime case.